Will the House come to order, Mr. Clerk?
Aloha and good morning. Today's invocation will be delivered by Mr. Tui Scanlon. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Good morning. My name is Tui Scanlon. I do spoken word and slam poetry and that kind of thing. I was thinking of what to say today, and my daughter just turned 18 months. I think about all the joy and the love that she brings me, and I think to honor the future, we need to honor the past as well. I think of all the love that my grandmothers gave to me as they were so integral in raising me. So I wrote this for them when they were very sick. They are unfortunately no longer with us, but I feel them with me in my heart and on the wind whenever I need them. So this is called The Sky is Falling. An apple fell from the sky, and suddenly Isaac Newton knew why the sun and moon set and rise. Or so I'm told. I'm sure as I get older, bolder forms of the story will unfold, but for now, the moon is in a constant state of falling into us. The first satellite to chance upon this trite little orb, orbiting since its formative years, protecting the planet from massive damage, carved scars into her life, and we have the nerve to call them craters. She has been called goddess, but she and my grandmothers speak often. I call them cousins. Patient and loving Amazons, they've nurtured me since my birth on earth and turned away tidal waves in hopes of preserving our lineage, yet I delineate. And as of late, I haven't been around long enough to stargaze, but just late enough to miss the meteor showers. You see, they are solar powered. My grandfathers had such large and crimson hearts, but once they became red giants, it reduced my childhood to ashes before my eyes, but they survived, derived my problem solution, and kept my spirit alive, driving forward forcefully, pouring agape love in the absence of the light that once was in my skies and now resides in the heavens. When I was hungry, they gave me food, and now they approve of the Artemis with which I hunt. They are wonderful. Tell me that Newton was right, that my lunar predecessors may forever fall into my arms. Tell me that my moons are not leaving me, not while we're hurtling toward the drain. Now it is discovered in 2017, at the edge of our universe, there is an impossibly large, supermassive black hole. Staring at the gaping maw of the abyss, Nana, Grandma, give my forehead one more kiss. And tell me that this is not the end. Tell me that I may bask solitary in the light you emit and feel solace amidst a midsummer's nightmare. Tell me that I can tell you jokes to make you howl with laughter, and the moment after when you tell me that you miss me. Because I can always make you smile. Just stay a while. And let me wonder as I wander through the labyrinth of legends and myths that have served as nourishment for years of enduring punishment. Let me return the warmth that has sustained me through all these winters. Thank you for teaching me how to treat a lover properly, that she's not just some celestial body for me to stick my flag in and claim pole position, but she should be the glistening face that makes my night a light in a dark world, a pearl made from grains of agitation, motivation to shatter the sky as a limit and reach for new heights. I will halt the light of the new dawn if you ask me. Just tell me I can have some more time with the night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Aquino?
Excused.
Ms. Bellotti? Mr. Brower? Ms. Cabanilla? Mr. Cachola? Mr. Cregan? Mr. Cullen? Ms. DeCoit? Ms. Eli? Mr. Gates?
Excused.
Ms. Haar?
Excused.
Mr. Hashem? Mr. Hashimoto? Mr. Holt? Ms. Ichiyama? Mr. Johansson? Ms. Kitagawa? Mr. Bert Kobayashi? Mr. Dale Kobayashi? Mr. Kong? Mr. Lee? Ms. Lowen? Ms. Luke? Mr. Matayoshi? Ms. Matsumoto? Mr. McDermott,
Excused.
Mr. McKelvey, Mr. Mizuno, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura,
Excused.
Mr. Nakashima,
Excused.
Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Ono, Ms. Okimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso, Mr. Quinlan,
Excused.
Ms. San Buenaventura, Mr. Say, Mr. Takayama, Mr. Takumi, Mr. Tarnas, Ms. Thielen, Mr. Todd, Mr. Tokioka, Mr. Ward,
Excused.
Ms. Wildberger, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamane, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 43 members are present, 8 are excused.
Item 2, reading of the journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the Governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Members, are there any introductions? Representative Holt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to introduce part of my family here today. They're here visiting the state capitol with the Keikio Ka'aina program. Shelly and Kalani Moku Uchima, would you please help me welcome them to the House of Representatives?
Are there further introductions? If not, take a recess subject to the call of the chair. Recess. Will the House come to order? Members, we're on item 5, introduction of bills. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that all bills laying on the clerk's desk pass first reading by title and be referred to print.
Representative Thielen.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion, but I would like to vote no on House Bill 939.
So ordered. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. The motion is carried. We're on item 6. Mr. Clerk, are there any resolutions for action?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, House Resolution Number 7, adopting the rules of the House of Representatives of the 30th Legislature, including the operating procedures for the Select Committee on Standards of Conduct. This resolution is offered by Representatives Bellotti and Ward.
Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution Number 7.
Representative Thielen.
Second the motion, Mr. Speaker.
It's been moved and seconded that H.R. number 7 be adopted. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Say.
in strong support with written comments.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Mr. Clerk, is there another resolution for action?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, House Resolution Number 8, adopting the House Administrative and Financial Manual of the House of Representatives of the 30th Legislature. This resolution is offered by Representatives Bellotti and Ward.
Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution Number 8.
Representative Thielen.
I second the motion.
Members, it's moved and seconded that H.R. number 8 be adopted. Is there any discussion?
Mr.
Representative
Speaker,
Say.
once more, in strong support with written comments.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, also in strong support, insert written comments.
So ordered. Is there further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Mr. Clerk, are there further resolutions for action?
Mr. Speaker, there are no further resolutions for action. May all others be referred to print.
So ordered. Members, are there any announcements? Representative McKelvey.
Aloha, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Not to drone on everybody, but I invite you to go to room 309 to see what the buzz is about. We have Drone Day at the Capitol with the CTA. A lot of vendors from law enforcement, technology companies showcasing the best and brightest of our fuzzy little friends in the sky. So come on up 309 and hope to see you there. Mahalo.
Are there further announcements? If not, we have a motion to keep the journal open. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move to keep the journal open until 6 o'clock p.m. this evening for the introduction of House bills.
Representative Thielen.
I second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the journal be kept open until 6 p.m. this evening for the introduction of House bills. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Members, please note that tonight's 6 p.m. deadline is firm and there will be no exceptions. Please make sure that you give yourselves and your staff ample time to file your bills before 6 p.m. Also, the House will stand in recess for the purpose of convening in joint session in the Senate chamber for the State of the Judiciary address at 10 a.m. We will reconvene in regular session on Monday at 12 noon. Recess.